Once Miss Streetz say it, I rock with it, man. She one of those people on question. All right, we appreciate you.
So much darkness in the world right now.
Let's go!
We need more light.
Woo!
Queens, stand up.
Ready?
New York City, stand up.
Remix!
My wolves.
Yeah!
Let's go! You hear us now.
Yelling out!
Hey, hey, hey. Do you hear my howl?
Do you hear me?
Do you hear my howl?
Streetz, and I have a very special guest with me today. He goes by the name of Credle. Hey, Credle.
It was good, child. Wxlf Pack. Let's go. Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of Wxlf Pack, we got to get into that. So I came across you because I found the song by you called Wxlf Pack, and it features MoonSky and my guy Deveye. Shout out to Deveye. Talk about the record first before we get into the theatrical huge video.
Oh wow. It was a beautiful experience. So for some people don't know that. Well, a lot of people don't know that the original record was not the version that the visual was shot to. And when it came to what I wanted visually, I felt like the record itself had to be different. And I was like, all right, how can I get more across of what I want my message to be? And I wanted it to be, more spiritual, more gospel, more just real talk, more just uh, more of a testimony, not just for myself, but the other people that was going to be on the record. And I definitely, what played a major part is also I feel like that Queens is kind of slept on for whatever reason. Like anytime an artist blows up, it's either Brooklyn or Bronx or and I feel like Queens. I'm like Queens got a lot of talent, so I made it um, my mission to be like, you know what? That's why in the intro you hear Queens stand up. Like I say New York City afterwards, like because I said as a whole, but just, I want people to know, like within New York City, I am from Queens.
Yeah.
So that was major for me, and I feel like it's been major for the borough. But when it came to putting the record itself together, I mean, MoonSky is my blood sister, and this is different than what she's used to, as far as the inspirational drill. And we wanted to put our own spin on it. And obviously, you can hear like the choirs and the background arrangements,
Right.
the choir arrangements and the directing. And it was, definitely when it had happened without my sister MoonSky, who's like classically trained. Like he's just an incredible talent. Definitely getting to my yang, and the duo between us is goes crazy. So we had the chemistry there, and I was like, you know what, I need you on this record. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, I know you usually the R&B and the pop and the inspirational and singing, but I was like, we're gonna find a way for you to mix and match and go in between and between the rap and singing, and when we had that writing session together, it went perfect. And then the last person was like Deveye, and we known each other last couple of years now, and watching his growth and watching my growth. And we always said it was like, yo, we gonna get on the record together. And I feel like what better time than this record, to have him on it. And once he sent his verse in, and I was like, yeah, this go crazy. And we just started adding background vocals around what he already did and just adding to it. Like so, yeah, the remix is really really caught people off guard, and they really love the new version of Wxlf Pack.
Yes, definitely. And like I had said, I commented to your video and said it's a production. The song is a production in itself. But the video is a whole movie, and I just can't really explain it. All I know it's a breath of fresh air. When I saw the video, I was like, wow, this is what I miss seeing in videos. How did you come up with the idea, and how long did that process take to make the video?
So I love to write when I'm writing records. If it doesn't hit here, I can't write to it. So anytime I'm writing a record, I already know what I want it to look like visually if I was to do a visual to it. And I knew right away, I was like, nah, this is a musical. So this is a musical. This is a musical film. I knew right away. And I was like, nah, this is a story. And and it's pretty much it's pretty much a story of how I went from a lone wolf to Wolfpacker, pretty much saying that I'm not a lone wolf. I'm not alone in this journey anymore.
Mm.
And the speaking of the visual playing out together, I'm very strategic. I'm very intentional. I do not force anything. Everything happens organically. And for me, it was like, no matter how long it takes, I'm gonna take my time. And I wrote the record in October 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to all right, who I want to shoot it, who I want to do choreography for it, I met those people at different stages of my life through a 2.5 year process.
Wow.
And it's just amazing because sometimes, I'm a Capricorn, so maybe I can speak for other Capricorns. We just be on go. We just want to, get everything done, and just like if I feel like I'm sitting too long, I feel like I'm not being productive. And
Mm-hmm.
I learned during this process that sometimes God wants you to stay still
Right.
and just wait. And there's moments where you got to go get it, and there's moments where you got to fall back and just let things happen and just live life. So I didn't even meet the cinematographer that shot it until May. And then we didn't start shooting until May, yeah, May 2023. And then we didn't start shooting until September 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote the whole treatment. I wrote the whole vision board for it. And shout out to the director, Ab One, helping me, get everything together. It was this production. It was definitely over like 40 to 50 people that it took.
Yeah,
So
it was a lot of people in there.
yeah, you're talking from like the wolf face, the special effects and makeup artist, Chaz, to the choreographers like Mia Imani and Jelly Ma. Like we had over like 12 dancers, all the rehearsals we were doing. And I'm in there like I'm like in there really dancing like I was on a
Was.
mission. Like, cause people they
Definitely.
see, or because people see me do my, my famous,
Mhm.
dance move. But I wanted to show people like, nah, when I put this mic to the side, I can really do some choreo. So, yeah, that was pretty awesome. But yeah, to have the combination of acting, choreography, and music was
Mhm.
the special effects, the just the attention to detail, the extras. The shout out to AE. He was the editor for it, and when he seen me, we all met at the same time. Me, AE, and Deveye at the Day Summit Festival where more bookings.
Mhm.
And when he heard me perform Wolfpack for the first time, he said, "Yo, I'm gonna I'm gonna shoot that visual." And he ended up being shooting parts of it and being ultimately being the editor. So
That
it's crazy how God works.
that's cool. That's definitely cool.
Yeah.
So, did you expect like the love and the outcome that and the feedback that the video is getting right now? Because it's doing really good. The numbers are great. And a lot of people love it. So, was you expecting that kind of love?
Yes. Uh,
I would say tell the truth.
yeah, because like my thing is right, and people like, oh, like he's arrogant or he's calculating. No, it's because I put in the work. Like
Right.
I did not fake it. I put in the work. I put God in everything that I did. Like I didn't take one step without him. Like even down to the date of the shooting.
Hmm.
Like I said, God, yo, what day should I choose? And this is this is so important. What I'm about to tell you is because if you remember, in New York, from September to October, there was there was 8 weekends in those 2 months, right? 7 of them it rained.
Mm. Wow.
Seven, and the one weekend we picked to shoot was the one weekend it was sunny.
Wow. Look at God.
So so like I'll just be telling y'all like you really gotta be tapped in and in tune,
Mhm.
um, for the great things to happen. And that's how I knew like this was a message, from God that He using me as a pawn to get through to His people. But yeah, oh man, it's
Definitely.
crazy.
So should the people and myself, because I'm a fan, should we a supporter, I should say. I like to say the word supporter. Should we expect like a sequel or part two? What are you gonna do with the whole wolf pack thing, if you can say?
It's crazy because a lot of people be like, oh, like what I would want to do. I don't even know if I can say. Well, I mean. I'll say this. It isn't the last time I would want to do the wolf face. It's just the question is what would it be for?
Right.
That I haven't figured out. You know, is it a musical film or is it like a feature film? Like, is it a
Right.
long length film?
Mhm.
Like, that's the question. But right now, we're just focusing, you know,
Well,
of
whatever it is, I
yeah,
know it's gonna be great. So it's
yeah.
definitely gonna be good, whatever you do next with it. But let's go back to your early life. How did you get into music and who kind of gave you that push to be an artist?
It's crazy. I would say my father and my sister, MoonSky. They were the ones. 'Cause my first passion was basketball, so to me, music was more like a hobby. Like I was fortunate enough. I was ranked from the age of 11 all the way through college, um, and I was fortunate enough to play the NCAA tournament. So I was pretty good at what I was doing. Um, but in the midst of that, music was always still attached to me. So I would say like my sophomore year of college, that's when I really started, recording and like really taking the artistry of it serious. And my sister pretty much was giving me a lot of advice, a lot of confidence, a lot of constructive criticism, also on like how to get better. And I didn't have no yes people around me like, nah, like you're gonna come from a family of artists, like we're gonna tell you like this is how you gotta get better. And so I gotta definitely um give it up to her from that point. And then as far as the outside of my family, I would say well, I also gotta throw in my older my whole siblings in there because I have a twin brother, fraternal.
Mhm.
Um
Okay.
and same thing with him. Like he's gonna keep it above with you. Like he's not gonna tell you what you want to hear. And then my oldest brother, he used to put us on to everything, like everything. Like when I was 8 years old, I was listening to Give Rich Dad Try. I'm listening to the Clips. I'm listening to Neptunes. I'm listening to Kanye, College Dropout. I'm like listening to all these different artists, and that helped stem like sort of my sound. And listening to Hezekiah, listening to Kurt Franklin and gospel, and growing up in the church. So just a melting pot of like listening to different sounds. That helped as well.
That's cool. So speaking of sounds and genres, I know that you are the CEO of Cradle Entertainment. Tell the people what we should expect out of that entertainment company.
Well, we expect to be entertained by cradles. So, no, but honestly, we named it Cradle Entertainment because we're more than just music. So, um, essentially, that's like one of the major parts that I played in the musical film, and that's what's been separating us from everybody else, from the pack, pun intended. So you can expect, more uh, cinematic, more cinematic films. Um, Wolfpack is attached to an album, so we're just gonna. You heard it. You hearing it here first.
Yes, yes.
You heard it here first. I know that I hear the chatters, but it is attached to a project where it's pushing a single very, very hard, and our goal is to release. And the fans is gonna help me with the name of it. It's either gonna be Lone Wolf 3, End of an Era, or we're gonna just call it the album, like Wolf Pack, the album. So um, we shall see where that lands. But hopefully
That's
fall of this year.
yeah, I'm glad that getting the fans and supporters involved in making that decision for you. Because it makes them feel like, they have a say so, which, is cool, So that's
Yeah, they definitely do.
dope. So shout outs. Shout out to all the key people that's been there for you from day one or people you met later on. I want you to take this time and give them people their flowers.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, first of all, shout out to my parents for being supportive when they was like, "Oh, you didn't want to go pro, you want to do music." I was like, "Yeah, so that's what I want to do." After graduating, and I mean, it's too many to name, but so my family, shout out my team, um, Credle Entertainment, Moonlight Media, The Resistance, AE Productions, uh, um, Money Choreography, and Oh man, just shout out to everybody that's
Yeah.
been helping.
And like you said earlier, you spoke about Queens. So shout out to Queens because that's where I'm from.
Yes, yeah,
And Queens has a special kind of talent. Of course, we got a lot of people that came out, whether they're actors, singers, rappers,
yeah.
whatever. But we also have a lot of future talent that's coming out now, such as yourself. So shout out to Queens, big Queens. Um,
Good queen.
yes. And before you leave, you have to drop all of your social media, Instagram, X, new Twitter, whatever, all the good stuff, so people know how to follow you, watch the video, support, and things like that.
Absolutely. So you can pretty much find me everywhere at I am Cradle. Uh, I am Cradle, Credle. I know it's pronounced like an A, but spell with an E. I know. And that's on everything. The Woodpad musical film is available not only on YouTube but also on Apple Music, iTunes, and Tidal as well. If you want to tap into that. And I am a part of a feature film that did release on Tubi called Catfish, where I'm starring in that. That's my first role as a starring yeah, actor. So yeah, as a lead role. So that was pretty cool.
That's
Um,
dope. That's cool. And what's the name of it again, you said?
Catfish.
Okay. Catfish. I heard that. Tubi. Make sure y'all check it out. Nice.
Yes.
So Cradle, thank you for stopping by. Like I said, I definitely am a supporter. The Wolfpack song and video just got me hooked. So anything you do from now on, I'm looking, watching, and supporting, like I said. So thank you.
I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
look forward to the pressure of what's next.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what's next? So I look forward to
Exactly.
it.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you.